I know what you're thinking, but I promise it's true. This Iceman issue actually isn't that bad. Don't leave. Come back. Don't leave me, come back. Come on, come back. I swear, the book actually isn't that bad. It's not great, but it actually does the job it's supposed to do, which is to get you to care about the characters. And you do. You care about every character, except Iceman, because he's still an ass. Why? Why, Cena Grace? Why do you have to make Bobby this total douche? There's literally nothing likable about him. Nothing. He's not charming, he's not kitschy, he's not funny. I know you think he is, but he really isn't. He's just insufferable. If you took him out the book, it'd actually be a better book, and he's the main character. So, this issue picks up where the last one left off, with Emma Frost asking Iceman for help, and he's not having it. There's still this sore spot between him and Emma over her taking his body over and showing him how his powers really work. There's also that whole Phoenix 5 starting a war thing from a few years ago. Bobby's not having it, and Emma's running out of patience, so she shows that she's actually got him standing in the middle of the city the entire time. She's just messing with his head, casually. And yet, unlike young Jean Grey, she doesn't decide to change his sexuality, because the White Queen may be a bitch, but she's got class. Unlike John Stamos here, who runs up out of where? Where the fuck did Kitty Pryde come from? She just appears out of nowhere. And where are they? Are they anywhere near the school? How does she know about Emma? We don't know. Whatever. I just gotta give Grace props for the John Stamos joke. Mine's was better, but yes, having Emma say, the hair was more Cynthia Nixon than Stamos is funny. So Bobby goes with Emma, and then we get the full story. Emma's father, Winston Frost, had her brother Christian institutionalized and sent to gay conversion therapy after he discovered his son's sexuality. Now I know what you're thinking, but this actually pre-exists Cena Grace. This storyline is from the Emma Frost series from a few years ago. In that series, her sister Adrian outs Christian, and Emma tries to help him after he attempts suicide. Then she tries to get her dad to help, and he sends Christian to pray away the gay. So that's not Cena Grace. But you know the only reason Emma Frost is in this book is because of that story and that angle, and that's definitely what this book is going to be about. Because of course it's gotta be about gay stuff. The writer's gay, the character's been brainwashed to be 6 degrees of stereotypical gay, but surprisingly without the assless chaps, so of course the story and plot have to have something to do with homosexuality. That's just logic. But to Grace's credit, it's handled okay. It's not the best. There's actually a better way to do it, but it's not bad. As long as you ignore Iceman's douchiness, which is really hard because it's fucking everywhere. So Emma says that her father has hidden powers, and we get this little exchange where Bobby says that this explains why Emma never outed him. And she says, "I'm aware of how sensitive such things are to you pretty white boys, yes. Also, my list of treacherous acts is a bit more ambitious than messing up one self-absorbed ex-child." That's a very Emma thing to say, and also a nice unintended shot of young Jean Grey playing fag hat with 2 young Bobby's minds. The thing is though, Emma is actually treacherous enough to out someone if it served her needs. That really does fit her character, so even though what she says sounds like the White Queen, her actions aren't at all like the White Queen. I also think Grace drops the ball because Emma taking over Bobby's body is a major point of conflict between them, and for Bobby not to push this issue doesn't make any sense. He really should be pressing her on this, which is why Grace probably should have saved this discussion for the end of the book. That way he would have had more time plot-wise to have that conversation. Anyway, the pair break into the Frost mansion, and there's Christian all fine and dandy in his Ryan Seacrest finest. But something's wrong. He's just too relaxed, too loose, and about to drink, which lets Emma know he's not who he seems to be. Iceman finds a locked door, and we discover that Christian's murdered his father, and it turns out that he's the one with the powers, not his father. Due to all the abuse his father put him through, Christian created an astral projection of his dad to basically punish him when the real one wasn't around. He commits to whipping their asses, and Bobby gets the bright idea to have Emma project Christian's mind into his own, because Christian's is too protected from Emma's telepathy. And I'm like, oh dear God, don't put your brother's mind in Bobby's head. You're gonna turn him into a rainbow-colored fisting butt plug, don't do it. But she does, and it's so gay. Oh, so gay. God, it's so bad. Jesus Christ, it's like if you had those jelly beans that taste like Lysol and you mixed them with cough syrup, but for your eyes. So let's skip this shit, cause it is just stupid. Emma decides to switch places with Bobby so that she can rescue her brother while Bobby deals with his own giant monster inner demon. And then we get this decent scene where Emma uses Bobby's past with his parents, which had already been dealt with but Sina Grace decided to ignore due to shitty political reasons, and she uses his life with the X-Men to show that things can get better. And then Christian confronts her, asking her where was she when he needed her, when his father abused him, and when he had to pray away the gay, and that's a fair question. Emma's a selfish bitch who basically ignored what happened to Christian because she had ambitions to fulfill. But she decides that she's going to stick by her brother and help him deal with his troubles and manage his powers, along with the family's finances. So, basically, he's going to get away with murdering his dad. Just wanted to make that clear. They're going to leave the scene and just let this man be dead. Nobody's going to handle this. I'm guessing Emma's going to wipe people's minds. Bobby's not going to say anything about it because, he's got a super secret date, so why would he give a fuck? There's a murdered man. Nobody wants to do anything about it. Seriously. We're just going to leave that in the book. Right. Okay. But outside of that, it's honestly not a bad story. It flows. It fits the characters. You have some compassion for them. But here's how it could have been better. Iceman should have been the one to talk to Christian because they actually have something in common. I mean, Sina Grace spent 11 issues playing up this thing with Bobby's parents being bigots. This is your moment to show how Bobby coped all those years, how he used the X-Men to fill in the gaps in his heart, his friends and his relationships to make him a better person, and how he learned to give people who should have helped him but didn't a second chance. It's right there. Just do it. But no, Sina Grace is too busy making Iceman into a jackass, so the scene couldn't happen. Even though this issue wasn't terrible, this is still a problem. We're 13 issues into Sina Grace's run, and he's still got Iceman acting like a little boy hopped up on coke and pop rocks. If you made the character serious for just 4 pages, you could actually make him interesting. Instead, the book ends with Iceman whining about having to get home because Emma wouldn't drive him back to the mansion. I mean, she is a bitch, you have to know this. And then, on his way, he gets 5 messages from the current headmaster of the school and main leader of the X-Men, a notice that the Dazzler's new single dropped, and a message from putting the S in STD saying that he's got a match. Which one do you think he cares about? Guess. Go on, guess. Of course he only cares about the booty call. I mean, it's not even funny. That's the problem, it's not even a joke because there's no setup. This is all from a throwaway mention about playing with dating apps on the drive to the Frost Mansion. That's it. You'd have had to have set it up in the last issue where Bobby's setting up his profile and then sees Emma, and then have him checking the thing several times throughout the issue with Emma commenting on it, and then you could have this happen. Seriously, if you took out all the Iceman parts, the book is fine. What drags down the issue is Iceman's antics that just don't work. But still, I want to give Grace credit. The non-Iceman stuff was okay. It's not the best version of the story, but it works. If the series was written more like that, it'd be okay. That said, Grace really needs to let go of the gay theme. Let Iceman be a hero. Let him be an X-Man and stop constantly bringing up his sexuality. If a straight dude talked about women this much, you push him into traffic to shut him up. We know he's gay. Try to be subtle. Just have him do a double take when the villain with the nice ass walks by. He goes out of panel, then Iceman pops back into panel, looks at the guy's ass. He doesn't say anything, he just looks. That's funny, and the audience will get it. You don't have to keep bringing up his sexuality every issue. And every story doesn't have to be tied in with homosexuality. Every story arc at this point was either a metaphor or was literally about being gay. Stop it. He's other things than gay. Try doing that sometimes. Other bad shit happens in the world, man. Try adding in some of that because when you stop choking that gay chicken, you're actually a competent writer who can tell an interesting story. So let it go. Or switch hands, I don't know, just give it a breather. But what do I know? I'm just some guy.